Captain Paul for the Locker Room. If you haven't already, please make sure to subscribe. We're trying to reach 1,500 subscribers by the end of the year, and let's get into it. I'm going to do something a little bit different. I want to do a Connor McDavid appreciation post because this guy is prolific. He is on a projected pace of hitting 150 points this season. That alone is kind of bonkers because in 43 games played, he has 35 goals, 44 assists for 79 points. That is insane production. For these kind of numbers, you're looking in the era of Mario Lemieux and Wayne Gretzky. And in today's game, that's insane. So I wanted to have some fun with this and kind of look into the projections of what Connor McDavid could be at certain stages in his career. Now, to be very clear, I'm going to base his projection as a point per game at 1.42 for this simulation. There's going to be some seasons like this season where he far exceeds that, and then there's going to be other seasons where he's a little below. So I feel like this was kind of a good middle ground because Connor McDavid has been nothing but prolific since he's been in the NHL. So utilizing that number 1.42, in 1,500 games played, you would have 1,377 points projected to be added on to his already 776 points, which would be a total of 2,153 points in only 1,500 games. Just to make that clear, that would make Connor McDavid number 2 all time, just behind Wayne Gretzky, passing Jaromir Jagr, who has 1,921 points in 1,733 games. Now, Wayne Gretzky's numbers are going to be very hard to match. Wayne is one of the greatest athletes of all time, and the numbers he put up are just never going to be shattered, especially on his point per game pace. The game is very different these days, but I think if you put Wayne in any era with that modern training, he'd still be the dominant player he was. But the numbers that you are seeing from Connor McDavid are extremely rare, and I don't think we should take that for granted. Connor McDavid is one of the greatest hockey players that we have ever seen. That's not to take away anything from the guys like Ovechkin or Crosby, the guys who came before him, but since Wayne Gretzky, we have not seen this type of scoring production. And I already did the 1,700 games played model with 2,437 points, but I was like, what would it take for Connor McDavid to pass Wayne Gretzky? Well, funny enough, at 2,000 games played, at this projected pace, he would have 2,863 points, just surpassing Wayne Gretzky. So for Connor McDavid to become the number 1 scorer in all time, he would have to play 2,000 games, or we'd have to see more of an uptick in his production per year so he could chase down the great one. I understand that this projection isn't realistic because there's going to be injuries, there's also going to be age where he slows down, but just putting this into pen and paper and looking at the amount of points this guy gets, it makes you appreciate it far more. He has speed, he has hands, he has agility, he has a high level of hockey IQ. I feel like his defensive game is starting to round out as well. Connor McDavid, taken first overall by the Oilers, seems like that was too far low. This guy is just a generational talent, and it's crazy to see all this potential being realized. It's just a pleasure to watch this guy play hockey night in and night out. I think 2,000 games is a stretch. I mean, Jaromir Jagr, and he was around for a long time, had 1,733 games played. Gordie Howe, same thing, 1,767 games played. So I'm not saying the 2,000 games played is realistic. I'm just putting it into context how many games played at his current pace it would take him to pass the great one. Connor McDavid is the greatest player in his generation. There's a lot of great stars and a lot of great superstars, but no one comes close to this type of offensive production. So let me know your opinions down below. Do you think Connor McDavid has any shot in hell of chasing down the great one? And if so, and how many games played? I'm Captain Paul for the Locker Room. If you haven't already, please make sure to subscribe, and I will see you in the next episode.